I would like to get started and introduce to you the superintendent of Norristown Area School District, Dr. Janet Samuels.
Thank you.
All the name together.
Thank you, Ms. Ash. And good afternoon to everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you to this historic event. Almost 1 year ago, many stood in the same location to christen the opening of our athletic field. The athletic field is symbolic of growth and new beginnings. After more than 20 years without hosting a track and field event, it is extremely special that today we rechristen this field. As Jesse Owens so eloquently stated, we all have dreams, but in order to make dreams come true and come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and efforts. As our students take center stage on this beautiful field, I hope they dream big and demonstrate lots of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and efforts, and understand that they have the opportunity to run for excellence, both academically and personally, run with dignity and grace, and most of all, run with high morals and ideals to enable them to pass the torch of greatness to others. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Norristown Area School District School Board for their support for our students and for this field, and to Ms. Anne-Marie Rorick for running incredible races for our students. Once again, welcome and thank you for joining us today. It is now a pleasure to introduce 12th grade student Jessica Gross, who is going to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jessica. Beautiful job. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon on such a cloudy, cold day. We all have such warm hearts and excitement for our students. It's so nice that so many of the supporters of the project joined us today. I thank each and every one of you. I thank each group, each organization, each club, and each team. So many of you helped us make this dream a reality. This afternoon, I have the great pleasure of introducing a distinct group of individuals who have helped move this project forward. First, let me begin by recognizing our school board. President of our school board is Ms. Pam Ossemacher. Vice President, Iva Farrell. Denise Ash, E. Pearl Smith, Dr. Al Mothy, Jan Pierce, Mr. Michael Melnick, Susan Morrison Bellamy, and Laura Rivera. Today's track meet is truly a tribute to the steadfast commitment of the school board to ensure that our students in our community have a facility that they can be proud of. I would also like to take a minute to publicly acknowledge the members of our Athletic Project Ad Hoc Committee. This committee is currently chaired by Mrs. Denise Ash. Current members include Jan Pierce, Dr. Malthy, Mike Howell, Chris Jensen, Kevin Waters, Valerie Perry, Fran Coverly, Gary Simpson, Jim Williams, Arlene Gordon, Colleen Henderson, Patrick Owens, Donnie Livers, Chuck Knowles, and Bob Malkowski. Please join me in acknowledging and thanking this special group for their hours of volunteer service and commitment to this project. At this point, I would like to turn the mic over to Mrs. Denise Ash. She has the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker this afternoon.
Good evening. Before I introduce our wonderful speaker, I would like to also recognize our state representative, Matt Bradford, who's here with us today. He has helped us throughout this process, and I know he's glad to see it at least come together a little bit. But before I came to Norristown, there was a group of track stars here who still think that they can beat anybody on this track. So young men, watch out for them. One of them happens to be Ronnie Livers. Ronnie Livers is a member of the Norristown School District class of 1973. He is one of Norristown's most recognized track superstars. And in high school, Ron was the two-time PIAA triple jump champ in 72 and 73. He won the 73 high jump crown. His 1973 triple jump performance was good for the national championships, and he was able to jump nearly 2 feet higher than his natural height. As a collegian at San Jose University, he was a 3-time NCAA triple jump champ, set a world record for the best triple jump and high jump in the same meet. In AAU champ competition, he was a 3-time USA National Indoor Triple Jump Champion in 78, 79, and 80. He was favored to compete in the 1980 Summer Olympics, but it was boycotted by the U.S. government that ended those hopes. Ron Livers still thinks that he can run this track, but today we asked him to come forward, and we would like to recognize him and all of his accomplishments, and we will ask him to make a few remarks to start off our 2013 season. I'm feeling old here, you know.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Just going to say a few remarks. It is an honor to be here today for this exciting day to celebrate the start of the new era of Norristown track and field history. The history is long and fabled, with Olympians Al Cantella, Josh Callbreath, the great Charles Blockson, Coach Pete Lewis. My own history started with my father, Lawrence A. Livers, the senior running and hurling for Norristown Area High School in the early 1940s, and my oldest brother, Lawrence A. Livers, Jr., running and hurling for Norristown High School from 1959 to 1961, and myself and my twin brother, Don Los Livers, competing for Norristown from 1970 to 1973. We all competed at the historic Roosevelt Field. I remember holding the sweats of the great Ernie Jr. Hadrick and his fellow teammates at the starting line, and running to the finish line to get them their sweats after the race. The district championships were held there back then, and it would be great if someday it could return here when the stadium is completed. I was supposed to be in the first graduating class of the new high school in 1973, but building delays, I believe, made my senior year the last graduating class from what is now Eisenhower Middle School. I'm kind of glad that didn't happen because I never rode a bus to school my whole life. We walked to school. I walked to practice every day, except when I used to get a ride with my partner, Dan Solomon, in his orange Pontiac GTO Goat. It was a great bonding experience, and I always felt it was a shame that when they built the new high school that the track athletes couldn't just go out in their building and practice and compete. But now that is a reality, and it should make a big difference for those athletes. Many great athletes have competed for the Eagles. The ones who stick out in my mind and are part of my history were the people I have mentioned already, plus the Henry Suber, Don Cartwright, Dave Morgan, Ernie Hadrick, Drew Davenport, Clarence Pooch Jones, Wade Bungie Stevens, Mike Cretion, Stan Settles, Vance McGee, Charles McKee, Mike Spearman, Mike Galliard, Dan Solomon, and if I forgot to mention any names, please forgive me. Then there are my teammates from my senior year when I graduated: Reggie Sims, Bernard Christie, Tom Super Duper Jones, Don Blue 10 Milligan, God bless his soul, Don Smith, Rich Slater, Tom Patterson, Larry Ash, Greg Bates, coaches Bob Shout, Dennis Mellons, and Roger Groves. And again, if I didn't mention anybody's names, please forgive me. I would like to mention to the athletic director, Mr. Knowles, that we're all still waiting for our banner to be put in the gym for our 1973 state championship team and our Eastern National Championship team, which I believe consisted from teams from Maryland to Maine. And I can't forget to mention the great Tony Flash Dart and Nettie Young, who I believe won state championships by themselves as individuals. I even coached here from 1980 and 1986. I had 2 state champions while I coached here. Mike Moose Lawrence, he was indoor and outdoor triple jump champion in 1980. And George Bub Hadrick, he was outdoor 800-meter champion. After coaching, I kind of lost touch with the sport in the school until about 6 years ago when I got that fever to coach again. And I remember Coach Miles seeing me at a district track meet and district championship and said I didn't look right in the colors of Perkins Valley High School where I coach now, knowing in my heart that I'm on Eagles in spirit always. What I'm hoping for this day starts is the fact that when I was competing for North State High School, when we would go to a track meet, we would be getting off the bus, and we could hear the other competitors saying, "That's Norristown." So I hope that starts a new era right today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Lavers. It is so great to be back on track. And as we said, it's been over 20 years, and we want to thank everyone for attending. We want to thank our principal, Jeff Smith, who's over here, for putting up with us through the construction and all. Although he's been new in the building, he jumped right in. And anyone else here, including our IT department, our staff, our administrators, and everyone who's helped make this day possible. Norristown young men, you have a tough act to follow. They're champions wherever they go. We're so proud of them. We have good athletes, and they're going to break that record that you say would never be broken, this team back here. So we thank you all for coming out and attending. We hope you have a nice, cold day. We're going to get ready to warm up when we see these kids run around this track and make us proud. Thank you again. We appreciate you coming.